she said consciously.
I will take you back.
The next morning, she carried the pot back to the river. As she tipped it to release the snake, the water ripped violently. A massive golden snake emerged from the depths, its scales glittering in the sunlight. Before Dabelechi could react, it curled around her, its massive body heavy and cold.
Why did you take my child?
It hissed, its golden eyes locked onto her.
I didn't mean to.
Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Umuoma, a young woman named Dabelechi, only 19 years old, lived a life of pain and hardship. She was the only child of her late parents, who had died in a car accident while traveling to the village for Christmas celebration. The warm and good layer of the sun filtered through the trees as Dabelechi knelt by her parents' graves, her heart heavy with loss. It has been 2 months since the tragic accident that claimed their lives. As the only child of her late parents, she had no one to turn to. The village elders had whispered about the unfairness of it all, when her uncles and aunts swept like a vulture, claiming everything her father has worked for. The oil company, the cars, the houses, even the acres of land, all taken. Now, Dabelechi lived alone in her grandmother's crumbling mud hut on the outskirts of the village, holding on tightly to the few memories she had left. The villagers pitied her, but pity did not feed a hungry stomach. She worked tirelessly every day, fetching water, washing clothes, and farming barren lands to survive. Each time her uncle's children visited the village for a holiday, their laughter will echo through the narrow dusty part of the village, taunting her.
Look at that, Papa.
Nkechi said, the eldest cousin. They would laugh, point at her as Dabelechi walked by.
I wonder how it feels to go from riches to rags.
His younger brother chimed in, laughing. Dabelechi kept her head low, as their mocking words stings in her heart. But she never responded. In her heart, she whispered,
One day, God will bless me. One day, they will see.
The day has been long and brighter. Dabelechi has spent hours under the scorching sun, weeding the small patches of land she cultivated for Mama Nkechi, who promised to pay her in evening. As dusk fell, the shadows of the trees stretching long and dark across the narrow village paths, her tired feet dragging along the dusty road, as she carried a bundle of firewood on her head. Suddenly, a rustling in the bushes made her pause. Before she could react, 3 men stepped onto the path, their faces twisted with cruel intent.
Well, well, well. Who do we have here?
One of them sneered, stepping closer.
Leave me alone,
Dabelechi said, her voice trembling as she crushed her bundle of firewood like a shield. The men laughed.
What will you do? Hit us with your sticks?
Fear gripped her, but just as one of them reached out his hand toward her, a loud gunshot cracked through the air. The men frozen, their heads snapping towards the sound.
Run!
A voice thundered from the trees. The men scattered like a frightened animal, disappearing into the bushes. Dabelechi, turned to see a tall, muscular figure stepping out from the shadows. A hunting gun slung over his shoulder. His sharp eyes softened when they met hers.
Are you alright?
He asked, his voice steady and calm.
Yes, thank you.
She stammered, tears streaming down her face as she dropped to her knees.
Thank you for saving me.
Please, get up.
He said, helping her to her feet.
You shouldn't be out here alone at this hour. My name is Song Tu. I'm a hunter in this village.
I am Dabelechi.
She said softly, still shaking. From that moment, their lives twined together. Over the weeks, Dabelechi and Sumto crossed paths repeatedly at the river, where she washed clothes, at the market square, where she sold some vegetables, and in the forest, where he hunted. Their friendship blossomed, and Sumto often found himself marveling at her ability to recover fast in the past ugly event. One afternoon, as they sat under the mango tree, Dabelechi shared her story.
My parents worked so hard to give me a good life.
She said, her voice breaking.
And now, everything they built has been taken from me. My uncles enjoyed wealth while I struggled to eat.
Sumto's fists crunched.
It's unfair. They should be ashamed of themselves.
They are not.
She said, shaking her head.
But I pray every night. I believe God will bless me one day.
Sumto looked at her, admiration shining in his eyes.
You have a strength I've never seen before. I promise, as long as I'm here, no one will harm you again.
One sunny morning, Dabelechi walked to the river to fetch water. Humming softly to herself, she dipped her clay pot into the cool, clear water and hosted it on her head. When she returned home and sat the pot down, her breath caught in her throat. Inside the water, a shimmering gold baby snake swam gracefully.
What in the world?
She whispered, grabbing a stick in panic. As she raised the stick, a small, trembling voice spoke.
Please, don't hurt me.
Dabelechi froze, her heart pounding.
Who said that?
When the snake replied, lifting its tiny gold head.
Please, don't harm me. Take me back to the river, and I promise to reward you.
Her hands shook as she dropped the stick, her mind racing.
Talking snakes? Rewards? It sounded like something from an old folktale.
But the snake's voice was gentle, almost pleading.
Alright,
She said consciously.
I will take you back.
The next morning, she carried the pot back to the river. As she tipped it to release the snake, the water ripped violently. A massive golden snake emerged from the depths, its scales glittering in the sunlight. Before Dabelechi could react, it curled around her, its massive body heavy and cold.
Why did you take my child?
It hissed, its golden eyes locked onto her.
I didn't mean to.
She stammered, tears streaming down her face.
It was an accident.
The baby snake slithered forward.
Mother, please, don't hurt her. She saved me. She's kind.
The large snake paused, then slowly uncoiled itself.
Very well then. Because my child has spoken for you. I will spare you, and I will reward you.
It dived into the river and returning moments later, spitting out heaps of gold, silver, and diamonds onto the river bank.
Take this.
It says.
Use it wisely.
Dabelechi packed it all and thanked the snake. She went home with joyful heart. She packed her bag and left for the city. Dabelechi's life changed overnight. In the city, she used the treasures to build a thriving business empire, becoming more wealthier than her parents has ever been. Months later, she returned to the village, dressed in elegant fabrics, her confidence radiant. She went straight to the river to thank the golden snakes, and the snake and its baby was very happy to see Dabelechi become the wealthy woman she is now. The snake promised to help if she needs any of their help. And then, to Somto's house. When he saw her, his jaw dropped.
Dabelechi, is that really you?
It's me.
She said, smiling. He pulled her into a tight embrace, laughing with joy.
I knew you were destined for greatness.
Their love deepened, and 6 months later, Somto proposed to her. They married in a grand celebration, and as they're preparing to leave the village for the city, Dabelechi's uncle and aunts knelt before her, their faces filled with desperation.
Please, forgive us.
They begged.
Help us. We have lost everything, and we don't know how it happened. Everything just vanished overnight.
Dabelechi looked at them, her expression calm but firm.
When I needed you, you turned your backs on me. Now, you must live with your consequences.
With Somto by her side, she turned and walked away, leaving the past behind. Together, they traveled to the city, built a life of love, happiness, and prosperity. As Dabelechi and Somto put hands together in building their riches, proving that resilience, kindness, and faith could overcome even the greatest hardships. The lesson of this story is that kindness, hard work, and patience can lead to unexpected blessing. Even in the hardest times, staying humble, praying, and doing the right thing will bring reward. While the greed and selfishness, on the other hand, will lead to downfall. The end.